Washington, D.C. How you doing today? It is absolutely incredible to see the crowd out here today, to see how many of you responded to the moral obligation to be here to demand that families belong together. My name is Isra Chaker, and I stand before you today with a broken heart. As the refugee campaign lead at Oxfam America, I devote each and every day to finding new and creative ways to fight this administration's xenophobic rhetoric and attacks on refugees, asylum seekers, immigrants, and other vulnerable families with all my might. And I will not stop. We will not stop. But as a Syrian-American Muslim woman, I wake up each morning with a knot in my stomach, thinking about my own family and wondering what new injustice the day will bring. The attacks are coming at us from all sides. This past week, 5 men on the Supreme Court made it legal to discriminate against me, against my family, solely because of how... Thank you. Solely because of what we believe and how we pray. No amount of window dressing or legal maneuvering can obscure this reality that ever since the day Trump called for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States, he has made it his mission to ban Muslims. Plain and simple. Shame. For me, this policy doesn't just hit close to home, it hits my home literally. It hits my family. I'm a proud American, born and raised in Boulder, Colorado. I grew up spending my summers visiting my extended family in Syria, playing with my cousins and bouncing on the laps of my aunts and uncles. But I haven't been able to see any of them since the conflict broke out in Syria 7 years ago. And now, this Muslim ban prevents me from being reunited with them here in my home, the United States of America. And that is not okay. Days that should have been among the happiest of my life were touched by the sadness of my family's absence. Feeling like part of my heart was missing as I watched my friends hug their aunts and uncles at our college and master's graduation ceremonies. Looking out into the crowd as I married my best friend to see over half the room where my family should have been empty. How many more life milestones will my family have to miss? Will they be here the day I have my first child, to watch his or her first steps? Family is everything, and nothing is more cruel than separating family members from each other. I am heartbroken that the Supreme Court chose xenophobia and bigotry over me and my family, that they stood on the side of hatred and fear instead of love and truth, because that's what this is. These are not just policies, not just statistics, not just words on a piece of paper. They are human lives on the line. Too many of our elected officials try to justify and rationalize this administration's discriminatory executive orders, its cruel family separation policies, its xenophobic rhetoric. But today, we call it what it is: bigotry. Looking out over this beautiful, huge crowd, which I never imagined I'd be speaking in front of, so I'm so honored. I know so many of you have also been personally affected by this administration's bigotry as well. And that's why we are all here right now. For those of you who are lucky enough to not have been targeted yet, I want to ask you to think about your families. What would you sacrifice to see them, to be with them? Imagine being torn apart from them. It's as if you are torn apart from your entire world. All of these atrocities are one and the same. whether it's tearing children away from parents seeking safe haven from violence in Central America, or blocking a Somali refugee from being reunited with his wife. This is about cruel practices that show an utter lack of moral fiber and the complete failure of this administration to acknowledge the humanity of these brave and fearless individuals longing for the same security, peace, and sense of normalcy that we all want. Thank you. We are tired. Too many of us know what it feels like to wake up every morning since Trump took office and be forced to fight for our rights. To have to prove your Americanness. To have to brace yourselves for blatant hateful attacks on all your identities. My family and I do not have to prove our humanity, and neither do you. We are all America, and America's all of us. Now I want to address all of you who are here in solidarity. I need you to commit yourself to this fight. It's not enough to take off one Saturday and come to a protest. I need you to make this the start of your activism, not the end of it. I need you to mobilize your privilege. This fight is not just for today, not this week, this month, or even year. It is a fight to take back our country and reclaim the vision of the Statue of Liberty that stands as a beacon and hope of light and light for every single person. Too many of us know what it feels like not to have the luxury of turning off the news or getting off of social media. For us, this is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We need all of you now more than ever. Trump is counting on your complacency, your distraction, but I urge you, prove him wrong. Stay horrified, stay angry. Do not recede into silence or indifference, as tempting as it may be. Sometimes we need you to stand with us as we lead this fight. And sometimes we need you to stand in front of us to protect us from the onslaught. And all the time we need you engaged and active as they try to divide us. Will we let them divide us? That's right. We cannot fight this alone, but united we will prevail. We know it. So we will stand. So will we stand united today? Yes. Every day. Yes. I need you to say it louder so everyone in the White House or out golfing can hear you. Will we stand united? Yes. Together we will continue to dissent, continue to speak truth to power, and continue to fight for our American values. This is a welcoming country, and one man in the White House and 5 men in the Supreme Court can never, ever change that. When I say no ban, you say no wall, no ban, no ban, no ban. Thank you all so much. God bless all of you.